let me thank you once again for having me come over here on the Danza Project. You know what I mean? You're doing a wonderful job. I think I became aware of of your podcast platform on the Adrian Broner
Yeah,
episode. My good friend AB
yeah.
came over here. You know what I mean? And he
AB's a
was
wild
feeling.
boy.
Yeah, he was feeling good or feeling tired, one of the two. I don't know which one it
He
was.
was
He
feeling
was.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had Brittany Renner up here, and Brittany Renner went crazy on Charleston White. She started twerking on him, right? So um AB did an interview after where he was like, yeah, y'all seen what Brittany Renner did? Yeah, I think they poisoned us. I'm like, that ain't the type of shit we want going on, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
he drank when he got here. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
We didn't even give him the opportunity to get a drink. He was already bent up in shape, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, I'm glad
but
well,
nonetheless
I'm
it was
glad
great, man. You know what I mean? It was what it was. Everything that comes with its growing pains and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it
well, I'm
is.
glad everything that we're gonna be kicking here today. You know what I'm saying? That they won't have any excuse to say that I have been drinking because I'm not there. You know what I mean, right there with you. So
Yeah.
I'm right here. Dan's up and he done had a drink,
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
gonna
we're
come with
here.
all the smoke. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And I'm sober enough to not go back on anything I have to say today.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, look, man. So you just had a very interesting situation occur right now, right? So you just had the whole world watching everything that went on. But before we get to that, I want the viewers to kind of get to know who you are as an individual. That's something that we do at the Danza Project. So coming up, I believe it's Oakland, California, where you came up from.
Oh, absolutely. Oakland,
Yeah.
California,
So talk to us about the come up.
East Oakland in particular. Just I'm a guy that grew up and made a lot of the wrong choices growing up in East Oakland. But you know what I mean. I learned from it, and I just wanted to. I was a guy that looked and had a big homie in East Oakland. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and I lived up to the expectations of my big homies. You know what I mean, and now I wanted when I became a father. I wanted the opportunity to be a big homie to my kids. You know what I mean? Be that kind of friend. Of course, after that's the formidable years
Yeah.
when it's about protecting when they're when they're infant to maybe 4 or 5 years old, and then you become a teacher at some point, in there, and then you get a chance to if you've taught enough and they respect you enough that you can have a friendship with them. And my older ones I have a friendship with, and of course, the younger ones I have a different relationship with. So
Yeah, they're too
it's
cool right now.
huh?
When they're younger, they're too cool right now. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
they're
Like,
too
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
So you're partly protecting them and teaching them as well.
yeah,
But of course, when they've reached that point in life where you can become their friend, I think I was pointing out to a guy on the podcast that they call TBE about being a friend. And when you're a friend, your friend makes mistakes. And you understand your friend. You go to your friend, and sometimes they're not in a good mood. Sometimes that they're not willing and ready to share the secrets they might share with you at a later date. And you have that patience in that friendship. When parenting reaches that level of friendship, you must have that patience in there in the friendship, and not that dictatorship that a parent is, that you have to, you know what I mean. And we know in friendships no one has to do anything. Friendships are you know what I mean.
yeah.
So
Friendships they're
I
gonna shift from day to day according to a mood, but the bond is there. You know
the
what I mean?
bond,
Yeah,
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 when you have a truth, when you
yep,
have a true friendship, a true bond.
yeah,
And of course, even with that friend, and my sons, and my daughters, I can tell when they need dad versus they need, you know what I mean, a friend, someone to listen to, you know what I
yeah.
mean, to be there as a sounding board. But like I say, to each his own. Parenting is every day, and Allah blesses us and wakes us up every day to be that, to be a parent, or to be an aspiring parent. Because without parents, the world would, we wouldn't exist.
Word. Now, did you have that type of relationship with your parents coming up?
Oh, absolutely. I had a dad that I loved him to death. I loved him dearly, and he was blue collar worker. He worked for um, American Airlines. Okay, but when I would go outside in Oakland, of course I see the guys, and they're making fast money. And my dad wasn't relatable to them. He couldn't relate to them. He couldn't relate to the fast money because he was a working man, blue collar man. You know, he believed in education and he believed in, you know, the hard working way. And you know, so I thought that they were farther apart than than similar in
Mm-hmm.
terms of my big homies and my dad. And you know, we lost that connection along the way. You know, it was the
Yeah.
connection that I didn't want to lose with my kids. And that was one of the things that I spoke about with being in the streets. I'm not in the streets doing crime,
Yeah.
but I'm in the streets enough that I know what's going on and I can relate to my kids in the same way to say, hey, you know, PPE loans ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that bullshit that was coming along, that what PPE or whatever the shit
The
was, that
PPP
shit was.
loans and then yeah, yeah.
PPP. I told him, I said, somebody gonna get cracked. It just might be you. You know what I'm saying? That shit is just like some old shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I'm just saying that that's just one case where being around and being a father is very important for your kids. You know what I'm saying? Your experience matters, and be able to explain to them, okay, you know, that's a short term goal, right? Let's look at how that affects your long term future, right? And they were able to resonate with me a little bit better, being that I went through it to get to it, and with that, I said, well, man, it's a whole lot of parents that are just like me, that look like me, that should go home and see the stars at in the house instead of in the sky or television. You know, because everybody want to hang out with the stars on television. You know what I mean? Or want to
Yeah.
go out and look at the stars in the sky and dream about it. But you're actually leaving the house and you have something. You know, that 2 year
Absolutely.
old is going to be something special when he right
Yeah.
when he grows up, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
But let
yeah,
me
exactly.
ask you, like you, for me, you know, being the father of a 2 year old and a 3 month old, right?
Yes.
I'm not yet familiar with what it's going to be like coming up when they're 13, 14, and I have to one day explain to them who daddy is because I'm somebody that myself, I've been in the streets when I was younger, right?
Yeah.
How do you, were you open about that? Was it something like you were, it was, you know, you felt free to explain to them? Like, how does that work when they get to an age where they start understanding life?
Well, I mean, it's just like anything else. They know, and with me, my kids know that I'll jump off a building for them. You know what I mean? I find strength, and also I find gratitude. I find the need to improve. You know what I mean? You know, through parenting. You know, I
Yeah.
found my purpose. I found my purpose. You know what I mean? And once I found the purpose, then the passion kept going more and more. I kept getting more and more passionate about being there for them. And those decisions that I would make along the way were about them. And so you're looking at Devin 17 years later after our first day in the boxing gym.
Mm.
Sean, he's playing tennis. He's 14. Bella plays tennis as well, and she's 9. You know, and we have a 10-year plan with Sean, and we've been playing tennis for a while, but we haven't gotten behind the 8 ball, meaning at 14 years old, inshallah, at 24, 25 years old, you know, Sean will be #1 in the world in tennis and he'll have his shot at it.
Yeah.
And that means working every day, right? And not listen to the naysayers about what we can't do. You know, so we're ahead of the curve in there and what we want to do with Devin, with Sean looking at his brother and saying he's done amazing things in boxing. So we also look to do amazing things in tennis.
Yeah, when greatness is around, you got no choice but to just go ahead and follow suit. You know, like it's if you got the right parenting, you know what I mean.
No,
Like
absolutely, absolutely. I didn't have a tennis court. We didn't have a tennis court that we identify with growing up. Like I said, with my dad. I mean, the tennis courts are there, but they were at the public schools, the public parks. There were no country clubs, or let alone being a tennis court in my backyard.
yeah,
So obviously, you know, when you get a chance to grow, you know what I mean. So do your kids. And my son said, Sean, he says, Dad, how did you just see? You saw Devin in boxing, and you just saw him in tennis. Well, um, you know, you get you just grow, man. You just grow and you continue to grow, and you don't be scared about that growth. Traditionally, I think a parent would want to put their kid and force their kid to be a boxer when
Yeah.
boxing came so natural for Dev. I mean, you see him. He had a hell of a performance on Saturday. He showed a resilience. He showed being a warrior, getting up and getting down. And that's something that you were born to do. You know what I mean? And I saw something else that was special in Sean with the tennis. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw you
I
get
think
right to it. You posted them right up away. Like we're still working on greatness over this way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
no, absolutely, absolutely, and that's a part of being a Haney. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like, they claim their block, they claim their city, but they don't claim their last name. You know, they claim
Mm-hmm.
their nickname, they claim everything else. You know what I'm saying? They claim the work, their job that they work for, that they work with, but they don't claim that last name.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer of, you know, you don't have to talk about it. You can show it. And I like to show off my kids and show the time that I
Yeah,
spent with
absolutely. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. It's a beautiful. It brings a smile to my face because it's the most beautiful thing. And
them.
I met Dev. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I could honestly say nothing but great things about him. Everybody that's asked me, because as soon as the fight came up, it's like, well, you interviewed him. What do you think's gonna happen? So you know, I mean, I'm like seventh round. Devin Haney's gonna knock him out.
Yes.
And Ryan Garcia has been one of my favorite fighters for a long time. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
I see that matchup happen. And before we get into that, I think it would have gone a different way had certain things happened. But that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna leave that for a second, right? So I'm
Okay.
gonna I'm gonna get into like 50 in these streets. You heard? So I know that you did some time back in the day, right? So could you
Yeah.
talk to us about being incarcerated?
Well, one thing about well, for me, it was a conviction that happened in '92, a federal conviction. Um, and being away from my oldest son at that time, him being like
That's
2 years
Junior.
old. Huh?
Junior.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my junior.
Yeah.
That's my oldest guy, junior. Right. And
I met him
being
too.
away
He
from,
was here.
oh, you met him
Yeah.
being, yeah. So being away from him, one of the hardest things was to imitate Barney, the dinosaur. You remember
Yeah. Yeah.
Barney the
Yep.
dinosaur? He was like, Dad, if you were here, you would take me to see Barney. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
like, I love you. You love me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and he went for that for so long. You know what I mean? That I knew Barney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, that it was just so, it would just tear me up and just touch me up to be out of prison. You know what I mean? And everyone says, you could go to the refrigerator and get some Kool-Aid and you can do all that. For me, I just want to get out and be a dad and be a father. And I knew that if I was ever, given that chance, I would really take it serious because I didn't want him growing up without a dad. You know what I mean? And I felt so ashamed about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And not being able to be out and have his back.
And how old was he at that time?
He was 2.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
was
could
2.
I couldn't
Same way.
imagine because I
Yeah,
just know the
yeah.
pressure of
No.
like I can't be gone for when I'm podcasting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
now people know I used to try to keep it hidden, but I podcast at home. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So like for me, I like sometimes some people will be up here and I'm like, are you gonna say something or like, could I get back to my son? You feel me? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
because
exactly.
he needs
Exactly.
me. He's calling me right now. So I
Exactly.
know that
Exactly.
at this age, it's just like uh, when you come home, it's like Superman just showed up. You know what I mean?
Imperative
At
that you,
2 years old.
that
So
you
like
that
it,
you
it
be
was
there.
super important. But you
Be
were
there.
able to you were obviously able to still remain a amazing father figure throughout
Thank you.
those. Yeah, I believe it was what like a 40 months that you did
Yeah, no, I did 60 months. I did
60
60 months
months.
and probably like 40 months of it actually incarcerated,
Yeah,
rest, whatever, work release or halfway house or whatever, So yeah, no, but it was definitely, and I try to save so many other guys by telling them, hey man, that 2-year old that you got at home, don't make that choice. You got something special. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, don't make that choice. Whatever you do, it's a chance that you were not just put on this earth. Don't go crazy. You might be put on this earth to to um to produce the next LeBron, the
yeah.
next Devin, the next, you know, the
Facts.
next
Yeah,
the next whoever, even the next doctor, the
yeah.
next lawyer.
The next
Not
dancer.
just, yeah, the next dancer, for
Yeah,
sure. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And so many times we have parents that's ready to jump off the cliff about things that they feel is very important. Um, you know, a career choice that you think that you should be farther along in your career when God has something else special for you. Have a beautiful seed that you produce that's going to go on and do amazing things if you just polish it and just be patient.
Absolutely. And it's it's a thing that just people kind of they're at the same time that we could sit there and credit people for being great parents, we got to acknowledge that some people just don't got it. You know what I mean? Some people are so selfish that it's about their own personal life, and they'll get to their kids when they got to get to their kids. And I'm constantly like,
Who you talking about, 50 and 0?
listen, I'm not going in on Floyd. I don't know the man personally. You know what
Well,
I mean?
you heard what he said.
Yeah.
You heard what he said. He said when a kid get to a certain age, and if it's your kid, you never stop parenting. You never stop parenting when it's parenting to needed to be done, right? Just like you never betrayed a friendship, right? When it's a friend that they need, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. And sometimes they need a friend. They need a friend that's a loyal friend. They need a patient
Now
friend.
talk about Barney. You got no, that's Toy Story. My bad. You got a friend in me. That's what I be telling my son all day. You feel me?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so when I told him, I said, listen, Dad is here for you. Meaning I don't have my nose turned up in the streets like I did something that's so above everybody, and I can no longer identify or hang on to the label a street nigga. When did I get so perfect and so righteous and so in Mars that I don't understand that I'm the first one from Oakland. I'm the only one that you know what I mean, that went from the streets to sports to the top of sports, right? And that's really authentic and to say that everyone can do it, right? If I can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
Right. And to become unrelatable, disconnected. A lot of times that's why the guys that get a little bit of shine and have some, and have a little bit of fortune and fame have so many problems because they feel so disconnected. They feel so much more superior. And I think that's what 50 and 0 is suffering from. You know what I mean? He feels he's superior than others because of the era that he fought in, which is his era. That's the Floyd Mayweather era that he fought in. So you leave it to that. You leave greatness where it's at, and you let these other young guys, who in Devin's case has the Devin Haney era, I believe that, and it's about impacting boxing, right? Where you come to YouTube and you come out of Tijuana, Mexico as an independent. You rise to the top by working with all the promoters. You're young, you become undisputed, you travel and get the belts. Well, that's quite impactful to the sport. And I think a lot of guys, younger guys, will say, I would like to do it like Devin versus doing it like Floyd. And no disrespect to him, but it's just a different era, a different speed that the kids wanted, a different, you know what I mean, a different mojo. It's just a whole different.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different thing, right? So me understanding that, and Floyd being part of the old guard, and the sense of that it's nobody is just like us and our era and our era and our era. Man, that thing gone and passed. And it was no shade towards him. I think he took it as some shade. So he came out and tried to shame me, because why would you come out to talk to me after Devin lost when you talked to Ryan Garcia before the fight? You talked to Ryan Garcia to help him beat Dev. You told him to cheat and do 3 pounds over like you did with Marquez, like he did with Marquez, right?
Now, before we skip past that, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm an honest individual, and I like Ryan Garcia, great fighter. I always thought he was better than people kind of gave him credit for because of that. Exactly what he was worried about. I'm a pretty boy, nigga. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna hate me and da. But in every other sport, and I mean every other sport, if the ball's deflated 1 pound per square inch, if somebody got the playbook early, if they were stealing signals, if they had pine tar on their hand, they don't even give you credit. They just automatically go, he cheated. He cheated. It's over. He cheated.
Absolutely.
But because I think it's because people don't really understand boxing, right? Like again, I spoke to you for a couple minutes prior, and I told you I'm not the biggest person, and so I can't tell you everything about boxing, but I will tell you this: I know that I lifted for a long time, and I saw a lot of people do bodybuilding around me, including my girl. To lose those final 3 pounds, right? Like if you're gonna go into a competition, in a bodybuilding competition, to be able to get your body to a point where you know what I mean, where you're gonna go out and win this competition. They say it's near death, right? They go out there, they compete, and immediately after that, it's like rehydrating, and you gotta go out there as an athlete, as a boxer, and perform, and you're depleted, right? But if you're gonna do that as a professional, and I sit there and I say, hey, look, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do this. This is the agreement between you and I. We're gonna fight at this weight. And the last second, somebody's like, yeah, you know what? That's cool and all, but I'm gonna come in there a little bit heavier, and I'm gonna go in there a little bit more hydrated, and I'm gonna go in there feeling a little bit better than you. And it's just like because the people don't understand it. As much as I don't want to sound like somebody, oh, well, you're giving excuses, da da da. Facts are facts.
Yes.
You can't do it.
No, no, absolutely. And for those reasons that I give Devin, you know what I mean? I give him so much credit
For taking the fight,
for
right?
taking the fight, but taking the fight under those kind of conditions against everybody. You know what I'm
Was it
saying?
because he was doing the whole crazy route though? Like if he
No,
wasn't
no,
doing
it was
that,
just
would you
not
have?
about that. I mean, he was doing a crazy route and he was faking that he wouldn't go through with the fight and all those things. But one thing that Devin did is he signed up for it, Dancing. He signed up to fight against a guy that came in 3 pounds. He was more heavier. I mean, Floyd had blocked the fight with the Rolly. He had, he had did so much. The 3 pounds he had released the spar, and Floyd released the sparring footage to Ryan for Ryan to then release it. So it was a lot of things that Devin was going up against, and and the fight, we continue to fight, but also we have proved that Haney's we're made from something different. You know what I mean? We have that thing in us, and that's why I'm so proud with Devin. You know what I mean? That he was able to challenge the machine, so to speak. Oscar, Bernard, Floyd, Ryan, 3 pounds, right? A person that had told everybody, I mean, all kind of stuff. He said that he was, raped by his parents, I believe, or something like that. He was,
Yeah,
just
yeah, all sorts.
yeah,
He went.
all
He
no,
definitely went
just
off the
just
wall.
all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you were playing, that wasn't worth it. If that was part of the
You think
promotion,
he really
that
bet on himself 2 million to make 12
I don't
million?
know, but I know that all that he described himself wasn't part of the promotion. I'll take even credit for, I mean, excuse me, I'll take criticism and apologize for saying, mentioning death, that it was going to be some death about it, because that's part of the promotion, but it's a part of the promotion that we did need to have that kind of energy, because I didn't want death on the kid. I just wanted, you know what I mean, him to hear and to feel the seriousness, and the people to feel that they were going to really have that kind of fight that they had. And I think Devin, Devin went out and fought Ryan Garcia's fight, and Ryan Garcia ended up being the best man on that night.
And does that happen because of the knockdowns? Him having to him feeling like he had to go out and get his lick back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was fighting. He was fighting on emotions. I think people said that he would run. That he was a runner, that he was a track star. Even throughout that fight, I think they were booing Ryan for backing up. They
Yeah.
weren't booing Devin. They weren't booing Devin for backing up. So I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? It definitely wasn't the outcome, but I'm still, chest out, chin up, head held high about his performance.
Now De La Hoya says no rematch.
Um,
They don't want it.
yeah, they
What do you?
said that they don't want it, but you never know.
Yeah. But
You
what?
never know where
So
these
so
people.
so what I gotta say, right? Like as a dad and as an involved father, you feel like you took a loss with him in there.
Of course, being just being the patriarch of being, of the Haneys. I take a loss with all my kids, and that's why I was telling telling Floyd, I was like, man, you take losses now. You were laughing at me of taking loss with my son in the boxing ring, and that's a blessing, coming from where we come from, you know what I mean, where I come from, you know what I mean, to have a kid and him to be competing in a legitimate sport, right, and giving it his all and his passion and showing so much heart. That's a win. That's a win as a parent, but also I lost with the Devin, right, as a competitor and as a coach, right? But as a father, it was definitely a win. And I told him, I love him. You are the best son in the world. The way you know what I mean, right? You can. It's easy to kick butt. You know what I'm saying? But can you go in there and take it? You know what I'm saying? And we know about this sport. You can give it. You can give it 31 times, but you can show the world I can take it too.
And now that there's the one, right? Like, hold on, let me grab something. Let me show you something.
Okay.
Right there, you see that?
Yeah.
That's the dream. Not right 30 and no. That's before he fought Regis. Now that
getting back over here.
Huh?
We got to get him back over here.
Yeah. So now that he's got the loss, where do you see like the direction of, like, what are you planning on or plotting on where he should go, and what is the conversation like? Because there's people out there that's he's got a broken jaw.
You see, there's no broken jaw. I told you there's no broken jaw, no broken bones, nothing. Devin is healthy. He's running. Of course, the fighter in him wants to get back, fast, and he's all that. But of course, the manager, the trainer, and the fighter I won't talk to him right now about fighting. We have a vacation that we're going to be going on to Mexico, the next couple of days or so. And those are things that we'll sit down and we'll talk about. Of course, he wants the best way to erase a performance like that, or you know what I mean, a L like that, is to get back in there and put on another performance, to forget about that performance. So that's what any fighter, really any true fighter, would be at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. It was an incredibly successful event.
Yeah, hell
right?
yeah.
So, as the manager and as the trainer and as the dad, all rolled in one, I want him to enjoy himself for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like you're proud that he's running. You know what I mean? He's running and he's wanting to get back active. But man, I want him to enjoy himself.
Yeah, take a break a little bit. But you know what? You can't you can't knock it though. You know what I mean? If anything, that's what you want to see. Now, when you had that conversation with Floyd that went all over the internet, there was a lot of criticism. Like, why is he talking about being the streets? Why is he talking about being the 50 and stuff like that, right? But we got my guy Big Meech coming home soon. Mm-hmm. And I know you got some BMF affiliations, if I'm not mistaken, correct? He's like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get you in trouble over here and stuff. But you know what I mean? What is that like for you?
But hopefully, I think Big Meech is coming home soon. Hopefully it's a long time coming for him. And I think that one thing that and just, I'm sure he'll tell you, but if I could think that it's one thing that he misses and he can't wait to get home to, and that's his kids. That's Lil Meech, who's doing an incredible job holding down that legacy, with the show BMF, so we're all looking forward and hoping for him to come home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He did a lot that impacted the community, and I happen to be, an associate of them. His brother is a real close friend of mine. I consider him to be like family, and yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted you to say that because a lot of people sit there in the internet and they, again, we spoke about this briefly about like the way the internet operates, right? I mean, shit, we had Charleston White up here, and Charleston White had a little bit to say about everything that he felt that y'all guys got going on and stuff like that. And hopefully, you know, I mean, y'all two could sit down and have a conversation one day. But the internet rushes to judgment. They're like, oh, why is Bill Haney out there trying to take Devin's spotlight? Why is he talking? Why is he arguing with Floyd? But people just see it as, okay, a conversation with Floyd happens. You're hating on Floyd. Floyd is just telling the world that, oh, he needs a new trainer. So they don't understand that there's a backstory to this, that Floyd had done some things. Like, they don't know about the 3 pounds. They don't know about him saying that there's these other fights that would be better fights. They know nothing about that. Does that bother you?
You know what? Time will tell. You know, we stay down, and you know, I think it's reflective on our relationship and what, like I said, what the way that we've impacted the sport of boxing. You know, you have people that ride for Floyd. You know, just they ride for Floyd unconsciously. They ride for Floyd, you know, 100%. You know, blindly. They ride for Floyd blindly, and that's okay. He's done, you know, a tremendous job individually in the sport, and I can't take that away from him. When I said 50 and 0 in the streets, meaning that I have a good reputation, right? I take care of, um, I do the things that I say that I'm going to do. I take care of people in the streets as much as I can, right? I stay relatable. I stay connected in the sense of that if it's someone's kid, you know, they say that's old Johnson, that's Mr. Johnson's boy over there, or that's Mr. Mayweather's son over there, or that's whoever. I grew up in that era where you're supposed to help out. You're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to just turn and say, that's not my business. You know what I mean? So that's what I meant by being in the streets and being 50 and 0.
Yeah. Again, I know a lot of people take it the wrong way, which is why I wanted to give you the opportunity to even talk about that and address that. Now, you've been through so much, not just boxing though, right? So like I know that while you did your time, you had a friend in there that helped you break into the music industry.
Yeah.
And
How'd you know that?
because I do my research, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So like, and I know that Romeo Must Die, which
Oh
is
yeah, that's
I
my
was born in '85,
yeah.
so
So
I know you got some connection to that.
what else you know, that's my guy Big Fats, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Flint Coleman, you know what I mean, has always been, you know, he's been good to me. I haven't talked to my big brother in a little while, so you know, shout out Fats. Yeah, I'll be coming to see you soon, baby. Been working. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, so Fats, um who knew Barry Hankerson real well. That's like a godfather, you know.
Yeah.
Barry, you know, has been a mentor to me, as well as Fats being a mentor to me as well in the music business, just learning the ins and outs from from Romeo Must Die soundtrack, you know, to Aaliyah, to Timbaland, early on, the Timbaland and Magoo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I used to Timbaland and Magoo. That music used to be fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, and Tank, and you know, just that whole scene at that time. You know what I mean? I got a lot of time and a chance to learn from them. Of course, coming from Oakland with our sound and our independent identity, you know, Too Short 40, Keek
Mm-hmm.
the Sneak,
Straight
Mac
out of
Dre.
Oakland, California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's, you know what I mean, been a collective of hold on one second, okay?
Yeah. 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 By the way, for everybody that's tuned in right now, if you could click that like and subscribe button again after the show is off air, it will go to members only. You know, that is a subscription. So if you're live right now and you do want to ask a question, I'm completely okay with that. Just make sure you send a super chat. This way I can see it pop up. Otherwise, there's just too much shit that's going up and down. I can't even see. You feel me? So
Right.
if you do want to ask a question, make sure you send a super chat in. So is there a friendship with Jay Z throughout this relationship and throughout this tenure in the music industry?
No, I can't say a friendship. I have a friendship with
Okay.
Emery Johnson. So, I got a chance to meet Jay, two tremendously, two beautiful brothers, man,
Yeah.
two tremendously educated and smart guys, both Emery and Jay-Z. And I can say that Emery took me to meet Jay-Z over to his house one day.
Fire.
And I would definitely, if you asked me to give you $1 million to give back for the conversation I had with Jay-Z and what he said to me, I wouldn't do it. I probably wouldn't do it for $5 million.
So you're taking the conversation over what it was the conversation of the 500 bands, right? That's what
10,000%.
huh?
10,000%.
Yeah. It's it's a huge debate, but there's sometimes where you can have a conversation, sit down, talk to somebody, and gain some knowledge, and that's really what
I'll
it's all
tell you
about.
the one thing I'll tell you that he told me, and it was surprisingly, but he let me know that no matter how much money you got, you could feel like it's heaven, and then for that split second, it's hell when you can't find your daughter. He says, if I look around and it's like, oh my God, where my daughter at? And for that split second, you living in hell. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing, because no matter how much money and all the awards that he has, he had the same feeling that I have when I can't find my kids, or the feeling of not being able to find my kids. So I know that'll never leave, no matter how much money or how far you go up the ladder.
That's a dope little gem right there. It's true though. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even, having a 2-year-old, when I take him to the park or whatever, and he's gone.
Right?
Like, wait, time out, where'd he go? Like I can't
right,
even do it, man. Like I'll be thinking, I'm like, somebody just picked him up, my son looked good. Somebody take him. You know what I mean? So like, you had Garcia talking about all that stuff, and what he was saying is a realistic fear, right? Like all the kids being abused and whatnot. But were you just sick and tired of hearing all this bullshit, or were you kind of like, I'm not even going to pay much attention to what he had going on over there?
You know what? As just promoting the event, we both, we try to do as much to bring attention to the events, and you know what I mean? And things sometimes get out of hand, and I can even say that, you know what I mean, and apologizing, you know what I mean, apologizing in the direction that I went. I don't know what their apology might be, or where that they might go too far. Maybe they don't think that they went too far. You know what I mean? I can only speak the way I feel. You know what I mean? But they for surely had a lot to say, and a lot, we're talking about. And of course, with there not being a fight and there's nothing else to talk about for me, they go their direction and we go ours until we meet again.
Facts. Now, the criticism has been, oh, well, he needs a new trainer. Are you actually Devin's trainer? Does he have more trainers? What is that like?
No, absolutely. And I mean, the things that we said that, with Floyd, and that Floyd said to do and all that, Devin knows, and he knows that I've said that. I've said, you know what I mean? And, it's, as a coach, you study, so I study Floyd, I study Sugar Ray, I study all the greats. I understand, you know what I mean, what's going on in there and stuff like that. So, I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I wore the crown as the coach, and I'll continue to take the blame as a coach, you know what I mean, and take the criticism. If that's how people feel, then, they're entitled to their opinion.
Now, there's the opinions are, oh well, how are they upset about Ryan Garcia not making weight when Devin's the real weight bully? As a boxing professional, could you break it down?
Well, we made the contracted weight. We did everything contractually, right? We've done nothing to be considered a weight bully. I think that,
there's fighters like Keith Thurman that said, oh, it's unless they're doing IVs or something else, there's no way that these fighters could go up 20 pounds. They got to be doing some other stuff over there.
I think Keith is an older fighter, so he's probably, you know what I mean, he's probably speaking his truth. But you know what I mean, for us, we don't need an IV.
Yeah. And again, I had these conversations too, because I feel like I got attacked. Like I feel like, I had Devin Haney up here, so everybody's just coming up at me like, oh, well, what do you think about that? I'm like, shit. I'm gonna tell you what I think. You feel me?
Yeah, no, you'll continue. You're going to continue to get attacked.
Yeah,
That's part of boxing. That's the boxing um, trolls for you. Great
yeah.
people. You know what I mean? Great people. Their energy is on
I'm
10.
gonna be honest
Right?
with you. I don't think they're great people. The people that talk shit like that, I think they're dick eaters. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
just like being
I don't
honest.
see, but you know what? It's really funny because a lot of times they'll be trolling in the comments, and then when you bring them on to talk, they're not the
Yeah,
same bad people that are commenting
yeah. It's like,
because
oh, yeah,
it's easier to comment something bad, but then to actually speak it out, and especially speak it out to the universe, but actually speak it out to the person that you're talking to. So we call a lot of the trolls out and find out that they're really nice people.
yeah. They got no choice but to be nice sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know, recently one of the people that be trolling, Charleston White. I had Charleston White up here about 6, maybe 7 times that we've done an interview. Most recently last week, and he had some things to say about black Muslims, and you guys aren't real black Muslims. You're not running planes into
See, I
buildings,
know
and
I've seen what he's
yeah,
talking about, but he's talking about the nation of Islam. But Muslims in general, you can't lump all Muslims like you can't lump all Christians like you can't lump all of anybody. You know what I mean? And I think that he's wrong for saying that. But that's his opinion, right? That's his opinion. It's a very negative opinion. I believe in Jesus. Peace and blessings be upon him. Um, but I'm a Muslim as well. I believe in Allah, God.
mm-hmm.
Um, you know what I mean? And both Jesus and God is mentioned. You know what I mean? I think Jesus being mentioned more times than any other prophet in the Quran. So I'm a new Muslim. You know what I mean? So I will make mistakes. You know what I mean? And one of the things, astaghfirullah, right? When you're thinking bad and you want to say something bad, right? It's astaghfirullah, and that's what I think about Charleston White. I want to say something, but then as a new Muslim, it makes it hard for me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Austin, because he's so negative, but he's deserving of everything that he has coming, um, in the spirit that he's operating in. And what
Have
he
you ever
says,
like listened to the message that he does deliver though?
no, no. Well, what I'm saying is, he
I would
says
like I
that,
would like for
no.
you two
He
one day
says,
to sit in a room and have a conversation. I think that would be
I
super
think we,
dope.
I think we need to, because I don't understand where he's coming from. You know what I mean? When he's talking the Muslim stuff, and he seems a bit angry, right? He seems to me, you know what he seems to me like? A a a little army man. You know, a little army man? A little guy with a big gun. And an army man, and then when you got
Yeah.
one of the army men you playing, and they're in the army man just,
You
you
talking about
know,
like the toy soldiers?
yeah, like a toy
Yeah.
soldier, but a toy soldier that's on something that he shouldn't be on.
I fuck with Charleston. You know what I mean? He's a true
I
speaker.
fuck with him too. I
Yeah.
fuck with him too, but he doesn't look like. That's what I'm saying. It's like a toy soldier to show up talking about something that he shouldn't be talking about. And that's one thing that I'm saying is with religion. Me being a new Muslim, I don't know why he would think that we don't like Jesus, or this was a holy war, or anything like that.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Now,
He's, like I said, he's an army man. That's what he is. He's a low army man. He's always wanting to get into something. And any man, and no offense, I'm not talking about low guys with big guns, but he's one that he always got a problem. And he's always talking about that big old gun. Yeah, I got a big gun. Yeah, I got a big gun.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I know he does. He's got like 70 of them. He's always talking his shit.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's what I'm
but
saying is, don't nobody want no problems or want to do nothing to Charleston White. He always thinking, well, ain't nothing happened to him, because I'm hoping that he just stop it, and Allah bless him that his eyes just go back straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a glass-eyed cat. You feel me? No, dude. I said it's a glass-eyed cat. But
That's the thing. So the one looking straight and the one just looking the regular way.
Yeah. Could we expect a conversation from the two of you in the future? Would you be able to sit down and have a conversation with him in a civil manner?
Listen, I would love to sit down with him.
Okay.
But he got to decide that either he's a light-skinned or a dark-skinned nigga, because he'd be mad as a motherfucker. I don't know which one is he, because he's mad at light-skinned niggas, but he's mad at dark-skinned niggas. I don't know. I mean, which you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if me and him was somewhere, you know, I would have his back. I don't know what's wrong with Charleston White.
Again, I think if you sat down, like I had the pleasure of sitting down having a real conversation with him, and when I met him, the one thing we understood real quick is what he told us. He met my son. Again, the podcast is at home. You know what I mean? The studio's at home, and he said like the spirit. He's like, it's a good spirit in here. And he's like, a lot of times when I'm told to do an interview, people are asking me to bring out my bad spirit. He's like, it's only in this room with you guys was the first time I was able to show my good spirit. Everybody else is like, oh, will you do this? And will you do that? And will you go viral with this? And are you willing to do this? And I'll pay you a little bit extra if you do this, So I was fortunate enough to see the man in his true form. You know what I mean? And what he truly feels. And I know the difference. And I know when he's sitting there and he's like, I'm gonna give y'all what the world wants to see real quick. And then I'm gonna go back into this mode and I'm gonna give you the real. You know what I'm saying? And it's a skill to be able to master the internet. And now it made me think about what Ryan Garcia did a little bit differently, because prior to Ryan Garcia behaving like that, he actually sat down with Charleston White.
Yeah.
And it was him, Aiden Ross, and Ryan Garcia.
Well, that's a crazy man and an army man.
So look, off of the army man for a second. Can
you imagine an army man wearing a big old fake gold chain? When you was little, you just put the gold chain on the army man, just take it and just shoot every place. Just shoot. Hey, over there, just shoot. Yeah, he's an army man. You know he is.
I'm not gonna knock Charleston White. I think he's a great.
I'm not knocking him. I just said he wouldn't be that nice to him if he didn't have the big gun. He tell everybody, go everywhere. Who wants to mess with a man with one eye and a big gun? He might shoot anybody. You told me one eye now. He got 7 guns in one eye. I'm getting the fuck out the way. Charleston White,
shout out Charleston White. We're gonna make the conversation happen.
You don't point no gun at me and accidentally hit somebody with me. You leave me alone. You little army man.
So what's up with Bernard Hopkins inviting you to the bathroom to go fight with you?
Don't have them two together at the same time. Oh Lord, have mercy.
But what a dramatic series that was, having the both of y'all. You know what I mean? Like, just 1 second he's promoting a fighter, the next second he's trying to fight Bill Haney.
Oh, absolutely. 1 minute he want to meet me in the bathroom. Next minute, you know what I mean, we're on there making a big fight happen. The one thing that, shout out to Bernard at the end of it, he said Allahu Akbar, and I said Allahu Akbar after.
Was he trolling? Was he trying to like jump in and?
I don't know. I mean, shout out to him. He's been in the business a long time.
Yeah.
And
the execution.
We've to reach our height, to be on the stage with him, is a major accomplishment. He's the first 4-belt undisputed champion. You know what I mean? And Devin is the youngest 4-belt undisputed champion. So after the show, you know what I mean? It's for me, no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? As long as there's no hard feelings on their part, you know what I mean? And we push on until we meet again. And like Devin says, hopefully that's next.
Now he like with all that shit that went on, the one thing we know there was that bet. It's $500,000 a pound. Did Ryan Garcia make good on the bet?
They didn't. Devin, we're not supposed to be betting, as Muslims, but like I say, you know what I mean? No one is perfect. But it wasn't actually a bet. It ended up being $200,000 a pound and 2 percentage points on the overall deal. So it ends up being, if the deal is big, what 2 points look like, right?
Yeah.
Um, the 200 a pound. So that was like 600,000 that way, and 2 percentage points over the overall deal could add up into, some cheese, some chicken.
Now, with all that went on, could you see? Because when you fight somebody 7 times, they gotta, like, as much as there's hate, there's got to be love.
Oh, absolutely. I think that they both have a mutual respect. But when you have it that many times, 3 and then 1, you have on our side, right? You have Devin, of course, wanting to go again. And that's been the spirit of them guys. So, like I said, right now, amazing event. There's nothing thirsty about us. You know what I mean? We're not thirsty, but we are hungry. You know what I mean? So it's only been a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let some time pass. You know what I mean? And we'll be back on here talking about the next fight.
But then they criticize almost as if, like, although it's only been a week, Devin's not allowed to celebrate. Why is he celebrating? What is he celebrating?
I would really like for him to take a break and to celebrate, but of course he's running. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why boxing and him are the marriage that they are. You know what I mean? Because he'll do it, man. He'll do it. Whether he's out of a big fight or a small fight, he'll do it.
Now, there was one guy in particular that said, "You need me." He said, "You need me now." Yeah, let's set that fight up. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. The world needs to see it. Let's
Who is that?
Is
that my guy? That's my guy. Who is that? That my guy?
AB.
Oh man.
Yeah, the world needs to see it, Bill. Go ahead, set it up, Bill.
Yeah. AB the problem. You know what I mean?
Is that a possibility?
I like the fight. You know what I mean? I like the fact that Adrian, what are you gonna say? Getting through this game and only losing your last loss being the Pacquiao, you still a bad motor scooter. You know what I mean? Until you get in there and somebody puts that nail in the coffin. AB is quite a showman, quite a salesman. You can't take those away from him. You know what I mean? And he's always
still the fighter that he once was. Because a lot of the criticism is, when you see the posts, you see the comments, he's not the same type of fighter now. Nobody wants to see it. They want to see Devin Haney go up against the best. They don't want to see a AB. So the world is saying at one point, AB is not the guy. AB's a showman. So obviously it'll sell tickets. But do you feel like he's good enough to get in the ring with Devin Haney?
Absolutely. I think that AB is at 147 pounds. If he comes in, and he comes in the AB that we know that he can, he's going to be a problem for anyone. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone has stopped him, have they? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's knocked him out and stopped him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, AB is always going to be a problem, man, until someone puts the nail in the coffin.
You think Devin Haney could do that?
Hey, listen, I believe in Dev, and don't nobody want to hear me start talking about Devin right now. Let Devin rest and relax, and we'll be back. We'll be back. You see him jogging and running. Yeah. We'll be back.
Now his mentality going forward. His mentality going forward, because there's gonna be, like, Dev's got to fight some demons right now, right? Like, regardless, he
definitely has to fight. Yeah. He definitely has to fight out a place that he's never been, right? You've been winning and winning and winning, right? I'm sure, anytime that you take an L of any sort, you take some reflection, right? For him, and as a boxer now, it takes a certain reflection. Us as parents, us as business owners, right? L's are part of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we tend to think that we have everything strategized out, that an L almost seems impossible, but there are a lot of emotions tied to an L. Even though you come out and you come out and you win money and you know what I mean, and you you're in a great place. You can go buy a car. You can go do certain things. But
you can do a lot of shit.
That goes back to that one thing with Jay, right? An L is an L.
Yeah.
Every man has emotions and every man has feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no man is without feelings. No man is without intimidation. No man is without, you know what I mean, reservations. But the only thing that we should fear is Allah.
Yeah. So with everything that's gone on, before we wrap up, you had such a viral moment when Floyd Mayweather decided to finally get up there with you. What is your true relationship like with Floyd?
Well, I thought I had a chance to rekindle our relationship.
By the way, just so you know, from what I know, right, and I know a decent amount, Floyd's watching right now, waiting to see what you got to say about him.
Well, listen, I didn't know if we were going to ever be able to rekindle our relationship. You know what I mean? I told him I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to accept his call. But I don't want him to go missing. Is he missing?
I mean, that's what Gervonta Davis says, right?
Hey, Floyd, okay, it's one thing for me to talk about you, but for somebody else to talk about you, goddamn, Floyd, I'm are you all right? Do you need some help?
Do you think that's even possible for this man to be,
No, but I'm asking him, do we need some help?
I mean, 50's on the way.
I didn't get paid that much. I'm saying this, huh?
50's on the way, I guess. Gervonta Davis has 50 for help. 50 said he's on the way.
Okay, well, let him know. I'll pitch some in. See, and that's the thing about growing up in the streets and not making money in the streets, right? You sometimes have some money to throw back out in the streets. And in this case, it would be throwing some money out there for Floyd Mayweather to get back from Dubai. Just a little bit. I just pitch a little bit now. I can't, I can't do a whole lot, Floyd.
Yeah.
I can do something that, he didn't do for old Tommy.
Now, do you think that there's a possibility that check your messages? Do you think that there's a possibility? My bad, I had to get that. Do you think there's a possibility that they're bullshitting? Because I'm looking at the entire thing and I'm like, are they like trying to get back or on the same page that?
They could be. No, they could be. They could be. And if Floyd popped up right now, then I would say, you know what I mean? I would be like, okay, because I hate for Floyd to just go missing. You might, you want him to, stop the BS.
Bill, give me 1 second. My girl's calling me real quick. Just give me 2 seconds. All right.
Okay. Okay. It might be his girl saying this Floyd just came up. Floyd is not missing no more. Is he coming on the dancing project? Let's see. Need some Jeopardy music, Queen. You ready?
Yep. My bad. I be getting my girl's like my assistant, right? So she be taking care of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like right now she's taking care of the kids. She's taking care. So I got a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And that person said they wanted to have a conversation with you. She said, "Hey, there's somebody calling the phone right now. They want to hop on, have a phone call." So, just give me a second here. And by the way, again, if anybody is watching and they got anything that they want to add, you got to pay for the super chats. I'll be able to ask the question. And Landon, make sure that you can put the super chats on the screen for me. Are you able to hear this? You're able to hear the phone again?
Hello.
Unc,
Hey, what's up with it?
what's up? I got Bill Haney on the line. This is Charleston White.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Bill?
Hey. What's happening with you, Mr.
Hey,
White?
what's up? Hey, what's up, soul?
So this is the room for you, Bill.
This is the
Yeah,
room for
what's
me to do
going
what?
on with you, soul?
Hey, listen, hey, King, I got a show. I need you to come on. I'm on the Dancing Project, and I'm gonna have you come on. Let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about Islam, and let's talk about being a champion and being a father.
Yeah, that sounds like some good topics. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get together.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Y'all think y'all can have this conversation civilly?
Well, no. We don't. You know, what's understood don't have to be explained. I just listen
Absolutely.
to the
It don't
topic.
need no pre-rehearsal. It don't
Yeah.
need no pre-rehearsal.
I just heard what he said. So now, man, what's understood on this ain't. Yeah, I know this is what we need.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And listen, we don't need no pre-rehearsal because we don't want to have a curse. You dig? I know you. I know you're professional.
Yeah, now, man. Yeah, now, well, this is what I know, homie. You can't put the spirit of nothing in the box. You can't. You know, I'm operating in spirit and in truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you know.
Yes,
so
sir.
I heard what you said.
So we're gonna get together. This is a great opportunity because the world will definitely, you know what I mean, be in tuned and be informed once we get together and chop it up. You know what I mean? Two men that, you know what I mean.
I don't know much about you. You just caught my attention. Really this fight here with Ryan Garcia. But
Yes, sir.
over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I think the world might got you misunderstood. So y'all think this would be great.
Thank you, King. Appreciate you. Look forward to talking to you.
Dope.
Yes, sir, brother.
All right, I'll holler at you.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah, so you know.
No. Now, let me tell you though. You listen. Let me tell you, Mr. Danza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna get away with me and Mr. Charleston right here with what we talking about. But we're gonna come back together because we definitely two guys that
it's Floyd
deserve to have a conversation.
What is that? I'm hearing something in the
Floyd is not
background.
missing no more.
Wait,
coming on the Dancing Project?
Wait, what is that? What is
Let's
that? Oh wait, that was the interview playing over again through the YouTube. But no, I wouldn't even expect to, right? Like
No, you expected to, but listen.
No problem.
Listen,
I'm smarter.
no
Listen,
problem.
listen, I'm smart. I'm smart enough.
One thing about Charleston ain't just coming on just to be coming on, and he ain't gonna just go for that. You dig what I'm saying?
No.
So that's a preview. That's a
exactly.
preview
Yeah.
what's really.
That's
all
I was trying to. That's all I was trying to get the world because remember I told you I got something for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you know I told you that, and I know the way that we got to get it going, right? Like I'm well informed, right? Like I'm a calculated guy. You know what I'm saying? So like,
absolutely.
But like I think that it would be a phenomenal conversation, and you know, like as soon as we had the opportunity to have you up here, you know that we were trying to make this conversation happen for a while between you and I. And they hit us up and they were like, you know, Bill Haney's a fan. He would love to have that conversation. I was like, oh, this shit would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Something.
Absolutely, King. Like I said, you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? I became a fan when I seen AB come over here. So having me over here, you dig? And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to talking with Mr. White. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, really quickly, I'm going to go through some of these questions. If anybody has a question, you could ask on the Super Chats. Henry Lee says, I would bet my life savings that Haney beats Shakur. What do you have to say about that?
You know what? When it happens, you're gonna see and be surprised at Devin. You know what I mean? I agree with the gentleman. I agree with wholeheartedly.
They said Floyd versus Haney, a UFC fight coming. I don't know why that would be, but all is well. I'm asking the question that he asks. Floyd versus Haney, UFC.
No, I think Floyd and 50 Cent is fighting first.
Now, real quick, that I wanted to segue into. A lot of people have said that Gervonta Davis beats Ryan Garcia, so obviously that means that he could beat Devin Haney. What do you have to say about that? Lathan, I'm getting a little distortion.
You know, that has always been a fight we like and that we, favorite Devin in. That's a fight that, we've always wanted. But like I said, it's only been a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, we came up short. You know what I mean? So me coming out and pointing fingers and going at guys, you know what I mean? I come on to let you know that he's healthy, he's running, he's in great spirit. And after this vacation to Mexico, then we'll have more clarity because we'll sit down and talk like bosses.
Now, I feel like my personal opinion, I said it, so I want to stand on my opinion. A lot of people like saying shit because they're kind of in the moment. I feel as though there's styles make fights, right? And people could say whatever the fuck they want. Oh, well, this happened and this happened. We saw the picture that went viral just recently of Ryan Garcia when he fought Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia when he fought Devin Haney. There's clearly that's two different people. You know what I mean? Completely different weights. And it was something that Gervonta Davis had no problem saying prior to the fight in the conferences. Oh, you got a mole in your camp. You know what I mean? He told him the entire time, you got a mole in your camp. We know things about you. You got a mole in your camp. And as soon as the press conference started, look how flush you are. Look how you look. You're dehydrated. Gervonta Davis made sure he told him this. This is not the same opponent. So when people are sitting there and their judgment is, well, obviously Gervonta Davis would beat him because he beat.
No, yeah, it's not the same opponent, and styles make fights. And Devin dared to be great and to give Ryan Garcia the advantage where Tank had the advantage. Tank had the advantage and Tank beat Ryan. Devin gave Ryan the advantage, and we went and tried to do the insurmountable, task of going against not only Ryan with the pounds, but also, Bernard, Floyd, Oscar, and also a great coach and Derek James. So when you dare to be great, these are things that this can be the outcome, but in the end, I hope that it earns the respect of the fans because it definitely earned my family and me's respect.
Fire. Do you think Tank would have taken the fight if Ryan Garcia came overweight?
No, he said he wouldn't. And, that's part of what makes up Gervonta, and that's part of what makes up Devin. And that's why I said that this is the Devin Haney era, and it's an era that kids will follow, that older fighters have now had to embrace. It's fight everybody. It's what the guys in LA say, don't turn down a fade. You know what I mean?
Somebody says, Henry says, can you tell Bill to keep his head up? We believe in Devin to be back. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, King.
So all this stuff has occurred. Obviously, I'm rooting for Devin. And I'm excited for what I think. Sometimes, to be honest with you, that loss just makes everything more interesting. Do we like Rocky? If Rocky ain't take that L, what I mean? Are people watching the movie? Do they give a shit about it? They talking to this day?
No.
So I'm excited about what's to come in the future. Let Dev know I said what up. I would like to see like some sort of like how they got all this. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, which by the way, who you think's winning that? Realistically.
Oh shit, I'm scared. I'm scared to say I'm friends with Jake. We're friends with Jake and stuff like that. But Mike is my man. You know what I'm saying? He's been my man. Before we got into boxing. So I hope that Mike is healthy and safe and shit. I want Mike to be victorious, but also want Jake. You know what I mean? To not go down, in a blaze of glory. You know what I mean? I want him to continue. So it's just two good guys fighting, and the fans are going to be the winner in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the reason I said that is because like at this point it seems like it's got to happen. Bill Haney versus Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like there's some beef brewing in between that because Bill Haney, Floyd Mayweather.
No, I got a son for Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So like
he told you what happened. He said he didn't deny what happened. He didn't deny what happened.
Yeah, word.
He said my son was 50 he said he undefeated in the gym. which means that he's undefeated against Floyd
Yeah.
and Tank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
So the video that people seen, right? Doctored footage. They left out a lot of the footage because I didn't even bother paying attention to it much because I know that.
Yeah, it was a highlight. It was a highlight. It was a highlight film. You know what? If you got to hold to the tape, you know what I'm saying? They got to hold tape. It takes some heck of integrity just to, you know, show the whole thing, or you know, show enough of the clip that is both sides. Or if that's not the case, if you want to show the highlight, just show me getting the money.
What do you think is the first, and I'm asking the questions that they're throwing up there, what do you think is the first adjustment that you would, as a trainer, give to Devin for a possible rematch versus Ryan Garcia?
All the time, you got to think with your feet. That's for young fighters. That ain't no secret. You got to think using your feet, because if you move your feet, your head gonna move too.
Well, look, Bill, I appreciate you greatly for tapping in. This has been a phenomenal interview.
That's all I needed you to say, King, because we represent Devin Haney always, man, and representing these Haneys always and forever, man. I appreciate you, King.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming over to play, and thank you for putting me on there with Charleston. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I know. I told you I was gonna make something happen. Told you prior I was gonna make something happen. I got you.
Hey, hey, listen, I didn't know it was gonna be that though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to work.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll holler at you soon. Be safe, my brother. Landon, go ahead and sign this off. This is the Danza Project, Season 2, Episode 7. We got Bill Haney in the building. Y'all be safe. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And again, after this video is now going into members-only mode, which means that you got to type in youtube.com/Danza Project. You know, hit that join button. It's $4.99. You become a member. You get all the exclusive, including the recent interview that we just did with Charleston White. That is exclusive. You know what I mean? $4.99. You already heard what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all the questions. I hope we were able to get through every single one of them. Listen, man, we got a lot of dope shit coming. We got a lot of interviews coming. Again, I know more than you know, but, you know,